It's officially the weekend of the Pittsburgh Marathon, and we're gonna run it together. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I am so excited to bring you along with me to run a half marathon. I am so excited. Today's Friday and the race is on Sunday. So it's officially race weekend and we have a lot to do, a lot of ways to prepare, and I'm gonna take you along the way, but I'm so excited. And in case this is your first video of mine, I'm Jess. This is Rich Girl Book Club, a place to come to get a little bit richer, a little bit smarter, a little bit whatever. We're just really trying to become our best selves together, which this week includes fitness. So, like I said, I'm Jess. I'm running my first half marathon. And let's talk about how I'm feeling. How am I feeling? Honestly, I'm really excited. I expected to be a lot more nervous by this point. I expected to not be as hopeful, but I'm really feeling good about it. I don't think I'm gonna be breaking records or anything like that, but I am pretty confident that I'm going to be able to run a good chunk of it. I'm okay with walking on and off. I'm okay with doing whatever I need to do during the race to finish it, but I know that I'll be able to do it, and it's my first half marathon, so automatically it's my personal record, it's my PR. So we're gonna PR in the half marathon together because it's our first one. My training has gone decently. I have more videos on my channel if you're interested to see how my training was like, but this is it. This is the weekend, and I honestly can't wait. Like, I'm just ready for it to be here. I think that my nerves are actually coming out as excitement, which is the best you can ask for. So I'm honestly thrilled and so hyped to be doing this. But yeah, come along with me to run the half marathon. First things first is we're going to go and get our race bib for the weekend today. So let's go do that. It's the day of the half marathon, guys. It's currently at 5:30 a.m. and I'm feeling excited, and I'm about to have the best breakfast. That's the breakfast of champions. That's the Element. Hello guys, I did it. I ran my first ever half marathon. I am so unbelievably proud of myself and so excited to talk about my experience. Now, I did take you guys along my journey with me, as you saw. Wasn't able to get quite as many clips as I really wanted to, and that was because running is hard. And I genuinely was struggling to breathe, and even just the whole phone situation, needing my phone out of my pouch, was not ideal. So I did the best that I could, and I figured I would just talk about my experience here a little bit and reflecting. So it's Wednesday and the race was on Sunday in Pittsburgh. So it was the Pittsburgh Marathon and I ran the half. Now, Pittsburgh is known for its hills, so it was a pretty hilly course, and I strictly ran flat before the race. So I was expecting the hills to be my demise, but they actually weren't that bad. They really weren't that bad. I survived the hills for sure, and leading up to the race, there was a forecast for rain. We thought it's gonna rain the entire race, like up until literally the morning of, we thought it's gonna just rain the whole time. Like, I didn't even feel like a drop of rain the whole time. We got so lucky with the weather in that case, because last year there was definitely rain for parts of the same race. But for me, when I was running, no rain, just like 95% humidity. So the humidity was really what got me. I was like a mile in and so sweaty, like my brow was just dripping, and I was like, cool. So the beginning of the race is very interesting. I'm trying to think of what else, other context. So the longest I ran before this was 6.2 miles for a race, and then I ran 8 miles 2 weeks before the race. Maybe like 10 days before the race, I ran 8 miles. So that was my last long run, and the longest that I ever ran before 13. It's a little ambitious going from 8 on flat land to 13 with hills. But I am amazing at pacing myself. Yes, I'm very good at pacing myself, and that's exactly what I did. Started off super slow. Mile 1 to 3, couldn't get around the people next to me. It was just a madhouse. And I realized that I was using a lot of energy diving between people. If you've ever ran that close with people around you, if you're not going the same exact pace, you have to like kind of jerk your way around them, and that uses up energy. So I said, we're not going to do that. We're going to go slow and steady for as long as possible, and then when we have more space, that's when we're going to kick it into high gear. So my slowest pace was in the beginning. I was going maybe like closer to 12-minute miles, which was my goal. So I didn't really think I was going super slow, so maybe it was a little bit slower than that, but I was sweaty and my body was confused what was happening. And also, when I started, I didn't have shin splints, but I had pain in my legs where the shin splints are. It was like a dull pain, so I was just ignoring it and waiting for it to go away. And it took a while. Usually after mile 1, that pain goes away, like right around 1 to 1.5 miles. Yeah, we were like 3 miles in and I was still feeling this. So probably had to do with the hilliness. It wasn't really hilly in the beginning, but just like the up and down grade that I'm not used to, I think was making that feeling go longer. Okay, so that was the first couple miles, and the first couple miles too, for context, I was running with a friend also doing the half, and then we had our friends doing a relay, so 5 people were running the entire marathon. This is what I did last year, the 6 miles. Please hold. Excuse me, sir. Do you have something to say? He's growling, so I have the window open. Anyways, back to what I was saying. The beginning of the race, I was trying to basically catch my friends, and I wasn't able to do that because they were killing it and they were doing amazing. So I was totally fine with that. And I just locked in. People were like, how did you not get bored? I just had a really good playlist. I will say my playlist, I wish I would have been a little bit more selective with, because it was really hard to switch music, which I didn't anticipate because I was like, oh, I'll just like use my watch. But for some reason, using Strava and my watch, I would have to like go back to the main screen and go to the other app, and it was just like annoying to do. Whereas if you do like an Apple workout, you can go to the music, like it's just like seamless. So long story short there, that's how I was feeling about that. So let's talk about hydration. I basically didn't really stop and walk until about mile 10, which was the big scary hill that wasn't as bad as I thought, but it was just a big hill up into a bridge and then a short relief, and then you kind of go back up. So probably a mile straight of a decent hill, not decent for Pittsburgh, but like a decent hill. And before that, I would really only slow down to grab water. They had a lot of water and electrolyte stations all across, and that was what I would stop for and get both electrolytes and water. It's hard to tell until it's like in your hand what it is. So I just took whatever, and I kind of just paced myself for every 2 miles having that little water break, and I think that was good. As for food and nutrition, I showed you guys my breakfast beforehand, and then I took 1 honey stinger before the race, about a half an hour. I can't remember exactly when I had them, but I had 2 goos, and I attempted to have a stinger while I was running, and that was hard to eat. So I understand the goos now, or whatever they're called. So that's what I did. I don't know if I needed them. I think I did. It's just hard to tell that like if you need it or not, because you're kind of supposed to like anticipate needing more energy. So those were great, those were good. And then after the race I had a smiley cookie. But we're not at the end of the race yet. We're cooking, we're moving and grooving. I'm getting texted about where everyone's at. I'm texting people. I saw a corgi at some point, but I saw a corgi in like mile 2, and that was so exciting. That really motivated me. I was like, I'm going. I was like yelling like, oh my gosh, a corgi, like during the race. The people walking this dog were probably like, yeah, it's a corgi. Yep. And everyone else was like, so chill. So that was my experience with that. Okay, last couple miles, we'll get to this. I kind of just kicked it into high gear. Okay, once I got over the last hilly part, I didn't really know exactly when the last hilly part was, but I kind of could figure that the rest was pretty much downhill. And I estimated when I had 1 to 2 miles left. I thought it was a little bit shorter than that, and I was like, I'm kicking it into gear. Another trick that I did during my race, and my dad told me this, is when you're going downhill, let gravity take you down. And you're like, okay, duh. But when you're running, you're like trying to control your pace so much that you don't realize that you're putting in more energy to maintain a slower pace than you could if you just let gravity take you down. So I would really speed up on the downgrades and let gravity just fly me down. And I was passing people left and right. Yeah. So I did that, and then I was like, okay, 1 more mile, and that last mile, really, it's really tough, and I was really close to catching my friend, but he finished literally like a minute and a half before me. But I crushed my goal, okay? My goal was honestly sub 3 hours, and that was like my cap, but my goal was 2 hours and 40 minutes, which would be a 12-minute pace on average, and guess what? I crushed it. 2 hours and 29 minutes, just under 2.5 hours, and my pace was about 11 minutes and 26 seconds. I want to say it was around that, so about 11.5 minute pace. So that was a whole half a minute faster than I was expecting on average. And I looked at my pace afterwards, and I was hitting 9-minute miles, people. Like, I'm a big deal. But I did give it every ounce that I had to get over that finish line. And then once it was over, I like couldn't breathe, and I was really confused why everyone else was like fine. And I was like, I cannot breathe right now. They just sent out pictures of the race. There's like a photographer there for some reason. Like, I don't want pictures of me running. No, thank you. There's a bunch of me right after I finish, and I'm just like falling over, basically. Falling over, not having the best time. And yeah, but I was so happy. I didn't really think I realized at first exactly what my time was, because when I was crossing the finish line, it says like 3 hours and like a couple minutes, but I started the race 34 minutes after they start the timer. So you have to count that. So I stopped my watch, saw everything, and was like, I did that. So finished the race, immediately got a water bottle, chugged that, immediately saw people getting bananas, and I decided to get a smiley cookie instead. Yep. And it was amazing. Apparently there were Asiago cheese bagels from Panera, and I missed out on that. They really force you after the race to keep walking for, I swear, another half mile. Yeah, they keep having you walk. So you keep walking. You have to just keep going. They're like, here's water, here's those random shiny blanket things. I don't know what they do, but I took one. And they're also handing you your medal. So let's take a look at that. Look at this beautiful medal. It's like crooked, but it's really cool. It like spins. Like, watch this. Pretty cool, right? This is definitely the coolest medal I've ever seen in my life. I thought that this medal was for the marathon, full marathon people. So me running a half, and I got that medal. I don't know, pretty cool. But all that was happening, they force you to keep walking. I think they do that on purpose because you really just want to fall over. And I did. I made my way to the grass, and I had no idea where my friends were. My phone was barely working. So I just used the clear paper thingy that I had, and I laid in the grass for a little bit, like 20 minutes. And then when I went to go find my friends, I went in the complete opposite direction. It's all good. It's fine. I was definitely feeling like completely out of it, like drained, like mentally, emotionally, physically. Like when I finally saw everyone, I was like, I have no words. It's like you kind of come off of the energy and adrenaline of the race, and you're like, I am asleep right now. I'm actually sleepwalking, but it it was so good to see everyone. Everyone was so like happy and proud. It was just really good. There's obviously, because it's a big city marathon, there were all these cool like stands and things like that. We got a beer in a beer garden. But anyway, so we were just hanging out and waiting for our relay people to finish, because they were running the full marathon. So they took almost 5 hours and we were done in 2.5 hours. So yeah, that was great. Rest of the day was really sore. My body hurt. And I had never felt that much physical pain in my legs. It was like moving up and down my legs, like really not fun. I sat down for too long and then my lower back was like, we don't work anymore. We do not work anymore. So it was a crazy time, and eventually got everyone over to the lunch dinner thing that we did all together. It was a great time. So that is my experience with running my first half marathon and doing amazing, beating my goal, and I am just so happy and proud that I did it. And I think I would do a half again. I really think at some point I will. Maybe not next year, but because it's right before my wedding. So not next year, but in future years, I could definitely see myself doing another half marathon. Now, the full marathon, I'm not interested in that. Not interested in that at all. It looks like torture. It just is completely like beyond anything that I would want to put my body through. Like, don't get me wrong here. I highly respect and admire people that do full marathons. Just for me, it's not worth it. Like, I'm going to get injured. I don't want to spend hours running on the weekend. Like, to run a marathon, there's going to be a random Saturday where you run 20 miles for no reason. So it doesn't really sound that exciting to me. And so right now, no intention of that. I would love to run more 10Ks too. I think 5 to 13 miles is really great, like a 10-mile run. I would be open to all that. And, you know, even like a 5K or whatever. Literally anything. Like, I definitely want to keep running. We'll see when I do my first run back after the race. Like I said, it's Wednesday, and I've just been going to yoga all week to recover. And I think it's helped a lot. And right now I'm going to go on a walk with Henry at our park. And as for my next time running, I would say it would probably be like this weekend, but I'm away this weekend. So maybe like next Monday or something. We will see, but I do want to just continue running a couple times a week. And now I get to do it for fun and not attempt to follow a schedule. It actually worked out. And you know what? I want to give a shout out right here. Important shout out. Pure Barre. Doing barre helped me so much more than I think I even realized, with the like endurance and just all of the muscles like all across your leg. Incredibly helpful. Posture, core strength, all of that. Like, seriously, barre really was super helpful. Like, I cannot deny that. So I want to give a special shout out to barre. And that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for coming along with me to run my first half marathon. And please go ahead and subscribe to join the Rich Girl Book Club. As you can see, I do some fitness content sometimes, but if you're also interested in personal finance or book content, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you join the club. Hope to see you soon. Bye.